All right, welcome back everybody. Thank you for joining me for the workshop. As I hinted earlier in the intro presentation, what we discuss in the workshop is really fundamentals about our business. And fundamentals are always going to be focused around how do I connect people and how do I earn money, right? And so we're going to focus a lot on these three things. First, understanding how to earn. There's one or two rules around earning. Well, there's three rules around earning to be exact. Only three. Three rules that you have to understand, and you have to be able to explain to the people you connect to the business so that everyone understands how you get paid. It's very easy to calculate how you get paid. It's not a mystery. It's not a secret calculation that happens in DuePoint's back office. It is very transparent, and we're going to go through those rules so that you understand that, because that's very important. We're going to go through the phone app. I hope a lot of people downloaded the phone app. I hope you've got the app running on your phone now. I want you to take out your phone and run through the app with me when we get to how do you use the phone app. And then we're just going to understand slow versus fast, and really coming to an understanding of what you expect out of the business, what you expect of yourself, right? Because we don't want that to lead to despondency. So it's very important to understand what's realistic in terms of what you do in this business. So let's begin. How to earn. Okay, so how do we earn? How do we get paid at DuePoint? How do we calculate how we get paid? So you were shown this table in the intro presentation. It is very self-explanatory, right? So when you're a new person, you are going to be building your first point, right? And your first point only. You don't get to place people anywhere except your first point, right? So you are 100% responsible for building your first point. Your first point is then responsible for building your second point. Your second pointers are responsible for building your third point, right? So you don't place people on your third point or your fourth point. You always place the people you introduce on your first point. That happens automatically. And so according to the table, you can see that as your channel builds, that's how much you get paid for every successful debit order that happens in your qualified channel, right? So if you've got people on your first point, for every person, for every product actually, not person, for every product that gets paid for successfully on your first point, you're earning 55 Rand for each one of those successful payments. And so if I had one person, let's say I had 10 people. 10 people on my first point with one product, right? I'm going to be earning 55 Rand for those 10 products. But if I had 10 people, and those 10 people took out 4 products. Well, now I've got 40 products that I'm earning 55 Rand each from. So that gives you an idea that we pay for each product, not for each person, but those products have to be paid for successfully. Okay, so that's a very basic table. It tells you how much you're earning to the extent of your channel. We told you that we don't limit you at 0.8. You can build your channel as big as you want. We've got wealth engineers who have built channels up to 0.30. already, right? Vast channels. And so to take this a step further, you will, if you were really paying attention in the intro presentation, you would notice that I don't talk about channels. I talk about qualified channels, and I talk about wealth engineers becoming qualified, right? That's me alluding to these three rules that we're about to speak to. Rule number one is that you have to pay for your product successfully, right? You can't fail your debit order and expect to earn from DuePoint. So your number one priority is to make sure that you're paying your product. Okay? Once you've paid your product, we ask, are you a qualified wealth engineer? What's a qualified wealth engineer? Qualified wealth engineer is someone who has got 3 people paying successfully on their first point. Remember when I said getting started? 4 steps to getting started. Blah, 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 blah. The last one was connect 3 people. Why? Because only once you've connected 3 people successfully do you become a qualified wealth engineer. And we only pay qualified wealth engineers. And so that's the second question we ask. We say, okay, have you paid your product? That's the first question. The second product, are you qualified? We look at how many people have paid for their product successfully in the preceding month. And we go, oh yes, they have got at least 3 people that have paid, so therefore they're qualified. Now we ask, well, how much money do we pay them? Right? How much money are we going to pay this qualified wealth engineer? And that question is focused around how big is your qualified channel? You will always hear us talking about qualified channels, right? So how do we define a qualified channel? So let's just look here. You become qualified, and so the minimum you can earn at DuePoint is 165 Rand, right? Because the minimum to earn is to have 3 people. And if you're earning 55 Rand per person or per product, you are earning 165. No one earns 55 Rand at DuePoint. No one earns 110. We start at 3. We start at 165 Rand, all right? And those are people. Those aren't products, right? So there's a difference. When I say a qualified wealth engineer, I'm talking about someone who has got 3 product-paying people in their channel. You can't go find one person and get that one person to take 4 products and now you're qualified. To get qualified, you need 3 people, right? Doesn't matter how many products they take. You must have 3 people at least. Okay. Now what happens is you've got these 3 people in your business and they start building. Wonderful. That's great, right? When you find someone who's willing to build in your channel, that person is like gold. Okay. And so you've got this person here. They've started to build onto your second point, right? Now you can see that this ring here isn't lit up because your qualified channel doesn't actually extend to the third person. Why? Because that third rule asks, that third question asks, how big is your qualified channel? How do we define that? It is defined by how many qualified wealth engineers you have on your first point. I'm going to say that again. It is defined by how many qualified wealth engineers you have on your first point. So when you look at all the people you've connected on your first point, how many of them have become qualified in their own right? Right? In this example, you've got 1. These other 2 aren't qualified. They're just sitting there. They haven't done anything. They haven't connected anyone. Only that person's connected someone. And so you've only got 1 qualified wealth engineer. And so your qualified channel is defined by how many people. So what do you mean by that, Rob? I'm saying to you that if you want to earn on your second point, you need 2 qualified wealth engineers. If you want to earn on your third point, you need 3 qualified wealth engineers. If you want to earn on your 30th point, you need 30 qualified wealth engineers on your first point. This person only has 1, and so we only pay them on their first point. Right? So I'm losing money here. I'm losing 165 Rand. There's 3 products that are being paid here, and I'm not earning 55 Rand. So what does that tell me I need to do? You need to go speak to one of those other 2 people. One of those other 2 people, go speak to both of them and say, what's going on? You joined to earn. You haven't found anyone yet. Can I help you? What's the problem? Are you busy? Must I phone you next week? How can I help you get 3 people so that you become qualified? So what you're doing in the process is you're helping them earn, and they're helping you gain another qualified wealth engineer. And the moment they become qualified, now you've got 2 qualified wealth engineers, which means you earn on 2 points. And so now you're earning on 2 points. That is what your qualified channel looks like. And we always speak about a qualified channel. For you to get to rank 9, you need 1,000 products in your qualified channel. And so if we look at, remember I said there's a lady in our business who's got over 6,000 people in her channel. But how many people do you think she's got in a qualified channel? In a qualified channel, maybe 3 or 4. Why? Because she's moved away from the business to such an extent, she's lost all these qualified wealth engineers because they don't see her. She doesn't phone them anymore. She's not around. And so she's lost qualified wealth engineers. And so her qualified channel, even though her channel is 6,000 people, her qualified channel is tiny. But she's sitting on a diamond mine. She's sitting on a diamond mine because literally all she has to do is go speak to some of those first pointers, get them going again, get them qualified, maybe find some new people, get them qualified, and suddenly it'll open up that channel and she'll be earning, right? And so we have these 3 rules. Let's look at it a little further. Now you've got people building on your third point. Are you earning on your third point? No. Why? Because that's not part of your qualified channel. How do I get my third point to be part of my qualified channel? This person's still sitting on the couch. Get off the couch. Find 3 people. And if they find 3 people, if you can help them get qualified, well, you're helping them and yourself. Because now you've got 3 qualified wealth engineers, which opens up your third point, and now you're earning on all 3 points. All right. Those are the 3 rules. Have you paid your product? Are you qualified? How big is your qualified channel? We've got a little video on this called How Do I Qualify? It's in your app. It's on our YouTube channel. Go watch it 10 times. Why? Because you have to be able to explain this to someone who's new in your business so that they can appreciate it. Why? Because these 3 rules embody the 2 fundamentals of our business. We can stop the workshop right now. We can stop the workshop right now. You don't have to watch any training videos. If you can embrace these 2 fundamental principles of our business. And they are, build my first point. So in other words, connect people. Keep finding new people to put on my first point and support them so that they get qualified. You don't have to do anything else at DuePoint. Those are the only two things you need to know. Build my first point, get those people qualified. And so you have these two fundamentals being connect people and support them. Connect them, support them. Connect them, support them. What does that look like? It looks like your first point, building, and those people becoming qualified. If you've got all these people on your first point and none of them are qualified, you're lacking in the support department, right? This business is about helping people and growing your business at the same time. All right. So I hope that explains it. You will forget it in 30 minutes. I'll find you afterwards and say, explain to me how to qualify. Go watch the video 10 times. Watch it 10 times, right? I know this. Why? Because we trained our customer service. It took us a month to get them to all remember how to qualify. A whole month. And we were with them every single day. Go watch that video. Explain it. The downside of not explaining this to someone who joins your business is that if they don't understand, probably the most important principle is just the qualified wealth engineer part. Because when they join the business and they go, oh, Rob told me 55 Rand per person. In January, I go find 2 people. At least DuePoint's paying me 110 at the end of the month. They're waiting. The 17th comes. Everyone in the business getting paid. Woo, I'm checking my bank account, There's nothing. I phoned client service. Why didn't you pay me? You're not qualified. What are you talking about? I've got 2 people. What's qualified? It's because the person that hosted you, that introduced you to DuePoint, didn't take the time to tell you what qualified is. They didn't tell you. You have to get 3 people to earn, right? That's if you're lucky. Most people go, they got me. It's a scam. They don't pay. I put in 2. They don't pay. They tell everyone in your business, they don't pay. Get out now. Take the time to go tell your people how to qualify. It is the first thing you tell people. You need to find 3 people, right? And it's much broader than that, because what you're doing is you're offering help to that person. You're saying to them, you have to get 3 people. I can help you get 3 people. I've done it for myself. I know how to do it. I'll help you. You want me to help you this weekend? No, I'm busy this week. I'm in accounts. January's crazy. Okay, I'll speak to you next week. I'll phone you next week. I'm going to help you get 3 people, right? That's your way of building community in your channel, is by offering help. Okay, the DuePoint app. So pull out your phones, start up your DuePoint app, and let's see how this tool is going to help us build business. Okay, so every time you open up your app, you'll be met with a daily notices screen. This is just communication from head office. We send a communication out for every live intro presentation. There are 5 of those a week, so you'll get 5 a week. Intro presentations, those disappear on their own, but you can close them. You can see there's a little cross, so you can delete them. And we send out all kinds of communication. So read your notices, and we also put in functions there that allow you to share that intro presentation live link. You can forward it to people. So there's share options available for it. You can click on it and go straight into the live stream. So there's some convenient functionality in those live notices. Once you close the live notices, so if you click back in the top left corner, you'll get to our home screen. So this is the DuePoint home screen. This is a summary of your business, right? A summary of your business looks like this. This is how many people in your channel have paid. This is how many people we're still going to debit in the month. This is how many people have failed their debit orders. That is business, right? So that is your summary page for your channel. We'll get into that a little more. Let me see, what is the next screen? I've done this so long ago. Let me go through this quickly. Okay, so there, the blue line there, the blue number is how many people have paid successfully in your channel, right? So those are successful debit orders in your qualified channel, right? So every time one of those are paid, you are earning money. Look at that good money there. Pending debits, those are debit orders that still have to happen. So if you opened your app now, if you're a wealth engineer who's got people in your business, you'll probably find that you've still got a lot of pending debits, because a lot of people put their debit orders at the end of the month. Right? And we're only on the 11th today, right? So you'll see that number will be quite big, pending debits, lots of them. And then there will be that horrible red number, failed debits. Failed debits can make you depressed. can make you angry, it can make you sad. It is a part of business. In entrepreneurship, you must have a thick skin. Why? Because in every business, there is negative aspects. There are people that say no, people that insult you, right? It's part of business. Just accept it, right? When that red number gets too big, that's when you get worried. That's when you've got to look at your own behavior, all right? So what is big? Big is when that BPQ tells you when to worry. When it's 100%, you have a perfect business. Everyone is paying. The BPQ only looks at your first and second point, because that's only where you have control. You don't have control on your 30th point. You don't even know those people, right? But on your first and second point, that BPQ is going to tell you what ratio of successful debits is going through. If that number drops below 75%, I would say be worried. Because that means a quarter of the business you're putting in is not paying their debit orders. So you need to go, I'm wasting a quarter of my month. A quarter of my time. If I was wasting 25% of my time, that would make me angry, right? And so that number will exist, but it mustn't get lower than 75%, right? It will some months, but that's when you go, okay, what am I doing here? Am I connecting the wrong people? Are people who can't afford the business getting involved? Or people that don't even have money getting involved in the business? You need money to be involved in this business, by the way. Why? Because you need money for data, for transport, for business cards, for speaking to people, for WhatsApping them, right? You need a particular set of resources to do this business, unfortunately. And so this business is not for everyone. If we start making money in the business, we can help the people that have absolutely no money. But bringing someone who has absolutely no money into the business, you're wasting your time. Not because you don't want to help them, because they don't have the resources to help themselves yet, right? And then the second blue number is how many applications you've got. So how many people have joined DuePoint? It's got nothing to do with the debit order. It's got to do with the application form. How many people have applied in your business? Look at this person's business. I can't remember whose business this is. But they had 219 people join their business in 1 month. That's great, huh? But they had 200 that cancelled and lapsed. So maybe they need to be worried about something. Maybe it's just part of business. You'd have to look at it a little more closely. Okay. When you have a new person, there's an easy way to earn XP. We need XP points in the rewards program. Our rewards program has got 2 criteria, XP and number of products in your qualified channel. So a quick way to get someone to be introduced to the DuePoint application. So if you've downloaded the DuePoint app for the first time today, I'm going to help you open the app, which I'm doing now, right? This is what you need to do with your people, right? Whatever I do, you need to do. This is not just for you. You're going to get them to open up the app. You click on your name in the top left corner. You see there, it says Brendan Benfield. If you click on your name, it opens up your profile. And if you've never taken a selfie, it's going to come up with a blank image like this. And there's a little camera icon over here. You click on that camera and you can take a selfie of yourself. We want you to take a photo of yourself so that we can see who we're dealing with when we speak to you over the phone. And what happens in the process, it gives you 1,000 XP automatically. Right? 1,000 XP. That's a quarter of the way to rank 1 in our business. So that's easy XP. So take a selfie. You don't have to go to the hairdresser. You don't have to do your makeup. Just take the selfie. You can redo it later when you're looking number 1. Take your selfie. All right. Now let's go to the second tab. So at the bottom of your phone, you will see all the tabs. See right at the bottom? You've got channel, you've got events, you've got rewards. What are the other ones? Tools and connect. Connect and tools. All right, those are the 5 tabs you've got. So let's click on events. We have got our entire calendar loaded up for you so that you can see what does DuePoint do regularly, right? You need to make this business regular in your life. And so you need to know what we do regularly so that you can leverage off of the events that we do, the live presentations, the training. We've got all kinds of workshops that happen throughout the year. Go look at what those events are. They'll be loaded there. Most of them will be the live presentations. We do a live presentation every Tuesday night, 6:30. Every Thursday night, 6:30. We do lunchtime presentations in the week on Wednesday at 12:15 and Friday at 12:15. And we do an intro presentation on Saturday morning at 10 o'clock. Every single week, week in, week out, week in, week out, right? Marry your diary into that. No, That's when I'm going to get people on board in my business. They're doing live presentations all the time. Live presentations. We can see the executive on the stage. They're there. We can go visit them at the head office, right? It lends credibility to the business. If you click on that drop-down live events, you can also see a gallery. So we'll be loading the Mauritius gallery up shortly. All the conference galleries are up there. And then the next tab at the bottom is rewards. Click on rewards. Right, so we told you what the rewards were in the intro presentation. You saw a slide like this, and we told you the rewards are all kinds of things. When your channel gets to a certain size, right? When your channel gets to certain sizes, these milestones, you get to rank up in the rewards program, and there are rewards that are waiting for you at every single rank, over and above what we're paying you every single month. And they take on, most of them are cash checks, right? So you can see there's Lynette and Fricky with their 20,000 Rand check. There's 5,000 Rand check for probably the Achiever Quest, 75,000 Rand check sitting there. So it's mostly checks that you get, but there's a couple of tools along the way. And there's the rank 9 holiday, and there's the rank 11 car, right? As a brand new person, you don't have to worry about the rewards program too much, right? Especially in your first month. Your first month, you just want to make sure you get qualified. You know what you want to know what to say to someone. You want to be able to show them the presentation. You want to be able to follow up with them, get them to join, and then you want to help them get qualified. That's your focus initially. But the rewards program will kind of happen on its own because your channel, as it grows, right, it'll start getting close to rank 1. There are 2 criteria to rank up. So we not only ask you to have a certain amount of products in your qualified channel, we also say you need XP. XP stands for experience points, right? So how do you earn XP? I just showed you. 1,000 XP for taking your selfie in the app, right? That's 1,000 XP. You need 4,000 XP and 4 products in your qualified channel to get to rank 1. When you hit rank 1, you'll be earning 220 Rand, right? But we'll give you an extra 55 Rand. It doesn't come as a check. We just put it in your account. Small, humble beginnings, guys. Humble beginnings builds character. You get that 55 Rand, you go buy some cake, celebrate on your own. Say, I'm rank 1, you celebrate on your own, you eat the cake on your own. Because if you can get to rank 1, you can get to any rank. How can I say you can get to any rank? Because it's the same process. The rank 1s are doing the same thing the rank 13s are doing. Connecting people, supporting people. It doesn't get more complicated. It is just about being regular in the business, right? Engaging in the business regularly, and not giving up. That's all that's required. And then so you can see the requirements get bigger. If you want to get to rank 9, there's rank 9 over there, you need nearly 500,000 XP, right? And you need 1,000 products in your qualified channel. That's the requirement for every rank 9. And so how do we earn XP? Because that's a lot of XP, right? 500,000 XP. How do I earn XP? We give you XP for everything. If you are engaged in our business regularly, you will earn XP. There are 25 different quests to earn XP, right? They're all listed here. Well, half here, half on the next slide. Check your app daily. If you log into your app, you get 25 XP. If you register a prospect, so that's not even getting the prospect to join. That's just to say, I've spoken to someone about DuePoint. If you just speak to someone about DuePoint, we give you 300 XP. Watch an intro presentation. You get 500 XP, right? That's you watching the intro presentation. Watch a development seminar. So if you come to training, you get 1,000 XP. Or if you watch the video online, you get 1,000 XP. If you show your intro presentation to a prospect, you get another 500 XP, right? It is easy to earn XP. It is easy to earn a lot of XP, right? But you only do it by doing things that require you to build a business at DuePoint. Okay. So this is to help you become engaged in the business. The XP Rewards program is to help build culture, good behavior for all of us. It is a way, it's almost like a training program that we put out. And the training program rewards you. You're incentivized by wanting to rank up, right? And so you start doing these things thinking, well, I'm just doing them for XP. And then you realize, wow, these things I'm doing is actually building my business and earning me money. These are good things to do. All right. And this is a way for you to introduce the business to new people. People say to you, what do I have to do in DuePoint? Easy. Log into your app daily, right? Register prospects, tell people about DuePoint. come watch the intro presentation for yourself, because you will learn about the business every time you watch that intro presentation. We're not robots. I don't deliver the intro presentation exactly the same every single time. I throw in tidbits every now and again. I have wealth engineers come to me and say, geez, I like that one thing you told me today in the intro presentation. I'm going to use that, right? Watch a development seminar. This is typically what any wealth engineer needs to do, any new person. So this allows you to explain to people what to do. And then we've got these stars over here, right? This is bonus XP. So when you check your app daily, you get 25 XP every day. But once you've done it 20 times, you get bonus 500 XP. So in your app, look at your app. Look at the quests, right? You can see if you're brand new, you won't have any stars. Let's go to the app quickly. So that's what it looks like if you click on rewards. There are the quests. I've just scrolled up a little bit. There's login daily. There you can see we've logged in once, obviously. So there's the counter, 1 to 20. When it reaches 20, I'm going to get a little gold star and I get the 500 XP. And then the next star is going to say, well, now you get 5,000 XP once you've opened your app 200 times. There's a quest here where the third star bonus is 1,000,000 XP. Right? So XP is not a problem here at DuePoint. Not a problem. And everything's automatic. It's all automated. Okay. If you click on one of those quests, it'll open up and tell you what the quest is about. Very simple. Straightforward. User-friendly. You can play around in your app. You can't break anything. You're not going to set off a 10,000 debit order by accident. Right? Play around in your app. I know the old people are scared to play around in technology. I'm going to break it. I'm going to break it. That's why 5-year-olds know the app before anyone else, because they're not scared to click around. Click around, guys. Click on everything. You'll be surprised by what is actually interactive and what information you can derive out of the app. Okay. Then the next tab at the bottom, after rewards, is connect. This is a button you are going to use the most. The most. Connect. Right? Why? Because connect is where you're able to add people into your business. You allow them to fill out the application form. It's also where you're going to register your prospects. Okay. So there you can see I've clicked on connect. There's the two buttons at the top. A new application or a prospect. Right? So where we register the prospect first, typically we're going to tell people about DuePoint first. So we click on prospect. That opens up the prospect manager. Add a new prospect or search my current prospects. So I'm going to add a new prospect. You click on the add button, it comes up with the usual form. Name, surname, contact number, email address. You can take a picture of them. Ask them before you do that. And then there's vital information that people would often miss. And that's additional notes about the person. And needs. What are their needs? Why do they need DuePoint? Right? You don't just want to assume a person needs DuePoint. You want to get to know them well enough so that you know why they need DuePoint. That separates every individual. If I had to go through each single one of you, you would have a different requirement about what you think DuePoint could do for you in your life. Find out what it is. It'll make your success jump. Because if I know what that person needs, I can say, I've got a business that'll help you pay your car off this month. I've got a business that'll help you get your kid into that school you want to get them into. I've got a business that'll help you pay for university for your child. If I know what the particular need is, then my prospecting will be way more successful if I just go to every person. You need DuePoint, you need DuePoint, you need DuePoint, you need DuePoint. Why are you all poor? You need it. That's patronizing. It is, it's patronizing. People don't like other people assuming who I am, what I need, right? But if I take a little bit of time, I speak to Paul and say, Paul, what you do? No. How's the property market going? How was December? Do you sell houses in December? I sold one house in December. I've got a business that you can do from home anytime, even when you're on holiday. You can fill that December up with making money. Oh, okay. That sounds interesting. You see? Found out about Paul. Right? Find out about your prospects. So when you add prospect, you fill in those boxes that say needs and additional notes, so that you can treat people individually. It shows those people that you care about them. They're not just a number. All right? It'll help your prospecting. And so when you've added all these prospects, that it'll look like. You'll have a whole list of prospects here. And you can go into those prospects. You can edit them. You can change things about them. So here, I've clicked on one of the prospects. Shania Twain. That's one of my good friends, Shania Twain. There you go. She used to be married to a Rob, by the way. So there's one of my prospects. Status, she's interested. There's her contact details. Family, she's married, she's got one child. Notes, met through her ex-husband Rob, not me. And her needs, she's looking for a business opportunity for her daughter. Right? And then you'll see there's a little button over here, a little plus button. If you click on that plus button, it brings out all these shortcuts. I can take another selfie of Shania. I can add her as a favorite. I can claim my XP by clicking on that button. If I click on that button, I'm telling the app that I've shown her the intro presentation. And I automatically get that 500 XP. Right? It's very easy not to show the intro presentation, just claim the XP anyway. So there's an honor system, but it goes beyond honor. You're not building your business if you don't show the intro presentation. So you can go add as many prospects as you want, right? Open the telephone book and just start adding prospects and click on that play button, play. And then you'll have 300,000 XP. People earning nothing. Okay? So we've automated everything. You can call her directly, click on the telephone button, and you can edit her information by clicking on the edit button. So that is the prospect manager. You need to be using the prospect manager constantly. At the end of the month, if you don't have new prospects, you've done nothing that month. Easy way to check. Have I worked this month? Let me see how many new prospects I have. Oh, none. Okay. So we've gone through the prospect manager, use that all the time, and then you've got the new application button. If you click on the new application button, it opens up an application form. You give your phone to your prospect, say, here, fill it out, right? Or you can do it online, you can do it on our website. There's lots of ways to do the application. The only way you can't do the application is through a form. We're not at the doctor. Yes, I can't stand those forms. When I go to a doctor or the dentist or a physio and they pull out the form, sir, please fill in the forms. I'm like, what decade are we in? Why is it not electronic, right? Everything at DuePoint is electronic. Never come ask at the reception, do you have forms? We don't have forms, okay? We've built the business to be fast. This business can add 1 million people in one day. We're going to add 1 million people in a day. Our systems can handle it. We're one of the few businesses that are hosted on Microsoft Azure. It is the first data center, Microsoft data center in Africa. It went live in about September last year. We are hosted on that data center. We can add, you can bring in as many people in this business knowing that this business will not falter. We can handle that volume because we are very focused on the technology. So don't ask for forms. And then if you click on the last tab is tools. This is where all the knowledge sits. This is a knowledge information base. It's like a library of information sitting under tools. If you click on tools, you'll see all these videos suddenly appear. There's a drop-down menu if you want to filter those videos to shorts, to special interviews. There's all kinds of drop-downs there. Getting started is the first one. So if you click on getting started, those are the videos you typically want to watch as a brand new person, right? Go watch the videos. Every time you click on that watch button, you get XP. You can click on the watch button and then put your phone down. I've got my XP. It's got zero value by doing that, right? XP doesn't have value. It doesn't. It's a requirement, but it doesn't have value. Building your business has the value. The XP is just there to train you to get used to the behavior to build your business. Okay, so that's under tools. Straightforward. I haven't asked anyone if anyone's got questions. Can even go, Rob, I want to go back to qualified. How do I qualify? You can ask me that question too. Any questions around paying, debit orders? Yeah?
I've got a first pointer whose debit order has been returned twice now. However, she's got a first pointer, and that first pointer has qualified.
Mm.
So what will happen if her debit order is then returned the third time? What's going to happen?
It won't return the third time because we won't do it again.
She'll be cancelled.
Yeah. So
what happens
to her first pointer who's qualified? Okay. So the question is for my online audience is I've got a first pointer. That first pointer, their debit order has bounced, right? So they haven't paid their debit order for 2 months in a row. But that person has got a first pointer. So I've got a second pointer under that person who's qualified.
Yeah.
They've done well. They went out and found 3 people. So what happens? So there's a couple of things I'm going to go over. We only try debit order anyone twice.
Yeah.
If you fail the first debit order that we ever do, we won't do another one. But if you're in the business and you pay the first one and then you fail the second one, then we'll try and debit you again, right? If you fail the second debit order, we won't try to debit you again. Then we're just like, that person's not paying, right? Because it costs us. Even a failed debit order costs us. We have to pay for that every single month. And so we don't bother trying to constantly debit people that aren't paying. Now the question goes to, okay, well, what about that person's first pointer, right? So you've got a first pointer that's not paying. They're obviously not earning you anything, and they're not qualified. So there's no value in that person. You can maybe turn your attention to that person, find out what's going on for them, but if the money is not there, the money is not there, right? But they've got a second pointer. This person introduced one person at least, right? They might have introduced 20 people. What happens to those second pointers? Well, those second pointers, right, on the second point, they will earn you money if your qualified channel extends to the second point. Right? So you will still earn money off of those people. Even though there is a point separating you that's not paying, doesn't mean you're not going to earn off of those people below that person. You can still earn on all those people. That woman might have a monster channel below her, and she's not paying, she's not earning. But you could be earning on all of that, as long as your qualified channel extends to all those points, right? So as long as you've got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 qualified wealth engineers on your first point, you can earn all of that money. It's got nothing to do with that lady who's not paying, or that man who's not paying. Okay. So,
if you want to reinstate, that person
yeah. So every person who stops paying their debit order and every person who phones in to cancel always has the option of reinstating. They phone client service. They have to phone client service. You can't phone for them and say reinstate them. They phone client service. We ask them security question, and they say, I would like to reinstate this product. They can change the product, doesn't matter. As long as they've got a product. I want to reinstate. I want my debit order to go off on this date, and we will reinstate them. We will try debit them again. Hopefully it goes off successfully this time. And then they're back in the game. They're back in the game. They can't move. They can't cancel and then go, oh, no, I want to be under this person. Once you're in the DuePoint system, you're in that system, in that spot forever. Okay? And then reinstating is very simple on your phone. If that person has got the DuePoint app still on their phone, or they can just download the DuePoint app again if they deleted it. But all you do is you go into the DuePoint app, you click on menu, you click on reinstate. We got all your details already. You just say, yes, I want this product to be debited again, and the date is right, and my bank details are right. It's 2 clicks. Reinstate, everything's right, go. You reinstate it. That's how quick it is.
and they earn directly, they start earning again.
Yeah. There's no penalty. If they've got 5 qualified wealth engineers under them, 100%. That month we review. Every month is treated as a single month. If they suddenly answer all the questions to those 3 qualifying questions, they're earning again, no problem. Yeah.
You said something about how if they fail to pay the first month, it's like, okay, we'll give you a second chance. And then after the second chance, if they...
It's no third chance.
Okay, here's my question, right? So some of us are here for a lifetime investment, right? So if a certain wealth engineer doesn't pay maybe in month 3, and then they also don't pay in year 13 with DuePoint, does everything collapse?
No, so your investment can never collapse, right? Your investment will always be there. If you've paid for 10 years, right, into your investment, that investment will be there, whether you're part of DuePoint or not. Short-term insurance is another story. Short-term insurance happens month to month. If I've got short-term insurance, let's say I've got I'm forgetting the names now. Wealth Guard. If I've got Wealth Guard, right, which is R1 million worth of personal accident death cover, and I pay for 10 years, right, and then suddenly I decide I'm stopping. I don't pay. And that month I die. I get killed in a car accident. You can't claim. Short-term, guys, listen here. This is not unique. This is how short-term insurance works. Short-term insurance is a monthly contract.
Yeah.
It doesn't accumulate over 10 years. It is a monthly contract. A monthly contract. A monthly contract. It's 1 month, 1 month. If you miss a month, and that month that you missed, you die. You didn't have insurance in that month. Right? So, Your investment doesn't disappear, but short-term insurance is monthly. Yes?
Okay, let me try to rephrase that question. When I say investment, I mean like my partnership with DuePoint. So if I fail a debit order on month 3, right?
No, your channel doesn't disappear.
Okay.
So I can build a big channel, right? I can build a big channel. I can disappear for a year. I don't pay for my product. I don't earn anything in the year. And then someone tells me, do you know how big your channel is? Your channel's still growing. I go, I'm going to get back involved. I phone client service. I say, reinstate me. Reinstate me. I look at my business. Okay, I've got no qualified wealth engineers. I pay for my product. Maybe I've got 4 or 5 people on my first point. I'm going to earn 55 Rand off of those because now I've paid my product. Those people have paid for my product. But I've got this massive business. How do I open up my massive business? How do I open up my qualified channel? I go start getting those people qualified. And the more people I get qualified, the more my qualified channel gets bigger and bigger, and I can then start earning off of that channel that I've got. It is always there. It doesn't disappear. It will never disappear.
Okay.
Right? Pumi?
Okay, I think what I understand is in simple terms. You want to say if your channel, you have built the channel, and you're probably earning 20,000 on that month.
Yeah.
Then on the current month, you don't pay your debit order.
Yeah.
Then you're not going to get paid.
Exactly.
You pay your debit order.
And we have that. We have that. And it belies belief. Because you'll have someone earning 3,000 Rand a month and they won't pay their debit order. And so they won't earn their 3,000 Rand. And then we'll send them an SMS saying, pay your debit order. We give you 2 weeks to fix it. 2 weeks, they still won't. They're 249. They won't pay the 249 and they don't get their 3,000 Rand. It happens. It happens, right? But you know the rules. You pay for your product first. You make sure you're qualified. And then we ask, how many qualified wealth engineers do you have? All right. Any other questions? All right, let's go ahead. Where to find your product information. So when you become a wealth engineer, you would have chosen a product, 1 or 5 products, right? That information is all under the menu. You see those 3 little lines there? That's a menu button. Click on that menu. There's a whole bunch of options that come out. Your account, preferences, blah, 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 blah. You will see your product information kept there. So your product information is accessible to you through the app, right? So you click on any of those. That's where the reinstate button exists as well. Okay. Go watch all the product videos. Guys, go watch the product videos. If you want to retain business in this company, make sure that you appreciate the benefits of the product that you've chosen, as well as the people. If you have that behavior where you are engaged in the product, you understand everything about the product, your channel, the people around you, know that when I join, I'm expected to go watch the product video. Why? Because if the person appreciates the value of the product, they will carry on paying for the product. If they've only joined and they think the product is a grudge purchase that they don't need, they're not going to hang around if they don't earn. But if they see the value in creating a tax-free investment or having that funeral cover, and they're good products. We haven't designed the products just as an add-on to the business. The products were designed first, right? Make sure there is appreciation for the products. Go watch the training. They're not long. 15, 20 minutes for each product video. Slow versus fast. Okay, that's always the big question. As a brand new person, I'm going to shoot the lights out. You oaks haven't seen anyone build this fast before. We hear that every time. I've got this person. They're a great networker. They know 3 million people in South Africa. They're going to shoot the lights out, right? We've got these grand expectations of people. Because things are so transparent in our business, I can tell you what you need to do if you want to earn so much money in such a short amount of time, right? And so you need to be aware of that. If you're connecting 2 or 3 people every single month, then you know you're going to get to 2,500 Rand after 6 months. You're going to get close to 10,000 Rand after a year if you do that consistently and you support the people that you are putting into the business, right? If I decide, okay, I'm going to do the 2-3 people a month, and I do it. And then November comes, and we all get that flavor for the holiday. And I get a bit lazy. I don't connect anyone in November. Then I'm on leave in December. I'm visiting family. I'm traveling, and I'm jolling. Don't do anyone in December. Then come January, I'm still distracted. I don't do anyone in January. That's okay. I've done 75% of the year, right? I've still done 9 months of the year. Because your business is built on exponential growth, removing 25% of effort every year affects your business dramatically in the long term. It's not, I will have 25% less. You will have way less than that, right? And so you have to be consistent in this business every single month. That's why I say you've got to make this business regular. It must be regular. Never miss a month, right? Because it affects you dramatically. So each one of you will have aspirations. Maybe you're just looking at trying to get qualified in your first month. Maybe you want to get the Achiever Quest, right? The Achiever Quest has done wonders for our wealth engineers in terms of prospecting, because you can go to a prospect and say, you don't have to build, Rob's always talking about long-term, slow and steady, you'll get there. You can build fast if you want to, right? Or earn fast at least, because if you can connect 10 people, where will you be in 5 years? If you can connect 10 people a month, where will you be in 5 years, right? And along the way, you can do the Achiever Quest. I mean, this is what? Potential of 15,000 a month times 12 months. Maybe 200,000 Rand that you will give, 180,000 Rand on top of your monthly return that you can earn for yourself. Be aware of the effort you're putting in, always. Because if you're not aware of the effort that you're putting in, the result you're expecting, it leads to despondency, right? We had one of the wealth engineers came in this morning, Nick. He was the tall guy. Do you see Nick? He's like a head and shoulders above me. And their first month, I think, him and his wife started doing the business, and they came to talk to me, and they said, and she was telling me the story. She said, Nick came home on Friday and said, yes, I'm so tired. This has been such a tough week. I have told everyone about DuePoint. Everybody. I'm exhausted. So she was like, right, let's sit down and see who you told about DuePoint. Let's write it down. It was 12 people. All right? In his mind, he thought he had spoken to 100 people. But in actual fact, he had only spoken to 12 people, right? Keep track of your performance. In business, we keep track of our performance, always. In business, that always happens. We have reporting. We look at the reporting. We look at the results. We change, right? It's no different in this business. Keep track of who you're speaking to, how many prospects you're showing the intro presentation to, what success you're having based on what you say to the person. Right? Become analytical about your business, because that's the only way you really learn effectively. You can kind of wing it and go, okay, I shouldn't say that next time and do that. But if you have the results in front of you in black and white on paper saying, I spoke to 10 people this week, 5 of them I spoke to like this, 5 of them I spoke to like that, this works better. Stop saying that. Next week I speak to another 10 people, I only say this. Right? That's the way you adapt in business. So do the same thing for yourself so that you don't fool yourself into thinking, I'm working so hard and this business is not getting me where I want to be, I'm quitting. Because that's what we do as humans, right? Okay. So what to do going forward? Just connect people to DuePoint. You're connecting, you're building, you're not selling. Right? You're connecting, not selling. Never talk about the product. People will ask you about the product. That's the tough one. Robert, I want to talk about the product. They always ask me about the product. You need to learn to deflect. Right? You need to learn to deflect, because if you get into the debate about product, you will be there all day. Let them come talk to me about the product. You say, no, I'm not an expert on the product. Watch the presentation. There's an expert on the product. Right? Just come sit down for 35 minutes. It's not a big ask. Never get the person thinking that you're trying to force them to join the business. You're not doing that. You're just trying to connect them to the business, right? Then it feels like there's a lot less pressure. Just come sit down, 35 minutes, man. They've got free tea and coffee, or you take them to your house, or you go to their house. It's a simple process, just 35 minutes that you need of that person's time. Always talk about wealth. You're always talking about wealth and how that wealth is going to address their need. Yes, always try to address their need. And so always a little bit of banter, a little bit of small talk to understand who this person is. You can open up about yourself and complain. We've all got some complaints inside us, right? You can say, January is killing me. You can even say to the person in the back of the line, January is killing me. Did you see the price of the avocados? And they'll say, don't even get me started on the avocados. Have you seen the price of petrol? And then you say, thank goodness I found a business on the side. If I didn't find that business on the side, I'd be in trouble. Right? You plant little seeds, start the conversation. They're complaining about the price of petrol. And you say, you know what, I can find a business you don't even have to worry about inflation with fuel. This business will stem that inflation for you. Well, what business are you involved in? right? Find out what the need is. Always talk about wealth. Use the tools. Show the business off. Because there's all these people in South Africa and everyone's trying to be proponents of their own businesses. Come join this business. We sell meat on the weekends. Everyone needs meat. Right? Milkshakes. We sell milkshakes. Everyone needs a milkshake. You look like you need a milkshake. Right? Everyone's doing their own businesses. So how do you stand out from the other businesses? How do you stand out from the other businesses? Do the other businesses have apps? Do the other businesses have live streams? Do the other businesses have beautiful offices? Do the other businesses do 5-star luxury holidays for their rank 9s? You show that off. You say, you want to know the business. This is the business. You open up your DuePoint app. You go to the gallery. You show the car giveaway. You show the rank 9. This is the business I'm talking about. Oh, well, we've got an app. You say, oh, you've got the app too. The app's for everybody. Open up your phone. Go to the app store. Type in DuePoint. There's the app. You've got the app. Oh, wow, I've got the app. Yes. Come look, I'll show you how you get involved. Right? You've got to figure out these things of getting people to look at you and trust the business you're talking about. You can't do it just by saying it. You must believe me. People don't believe that. You must show them. Show them, right? Get started now. So this is a good one. I like this one. Get started now. So initially when I got involved in this business, right, I had come from a completely left field business. I come from the ad industry, the design industry, came into this business. I was like, right, okay, we're going to do this is financial services. It is, I don't like the word network marketing. It's a form of network marketing. We prefer the word social entrepreneurship. And so I had to wrap my head around what we were doing, how we were going to get people motivated to join the business. And then this thing came up about get people to get going as quickly as possible, right? And personally for me, that was a difficult one because I don't like being pushed like that. Especially something I don't know. When someone says to me, oh, I've got something for you, and I come and I say, oh, it sounds nice. Okay, let's get you started. Well, hold on, I need to think about it. Right? So that was difficult for me. Then in researching human behavior, and I've been a student of that for the last few years. Like what motivates people, what gets people to change their lives. It's difficult to get people to change their lives, to get people out of comfort zones, to get people to adopt new habits, to start learning things again. And this topic of getting started now started. And there's a guy, Tony Robbins. All know Tony Robbins? Big guy, big jaw, probably the biggest motivational speaker in the world, right? Tony Robbins. Shouting at everybody. And he was talking about getting people into a peak state. He said, if you want to help somebody, if you want to get someone to change their lives, to change their habits, to get out of their comfort zone, they will only do it when they're in a peak state. And like, what's a peak state? A peak state is when someone gets excited. This is my comfort zone. I'm relaxed. I know everything. I feel safe. Now I come to a presentation. They get me excited. They show me that fancy video of rank 9. I'm excited. Oh, DuePoint's going to make me rich. Okay, let's get started now. Okay, whoa. Right? That is when you say to them, not whoa. We get started when you're excited. Because if you go home and think about it, when you go home and talk to your spouse about it, you're back in your comfort zone. You're in your safe space. You don't want to get out of that safe space. It becomes much harder to get that person into the state to go, okay, let's get started. I'm excited. And so to do them justice, you must push them. You must say, okay, I know how you feel, but remember, there's no risk attached to DuePoint. You can still join now. You can put your debit order date on that. You can cancel at any stage. At any stage. Get started now while you're excited. Because if you want to change your life, you've got to do it now. Right? And so that answered the question for me. Get started now. Push people. If you want to help them really, push them when they have that fear. And they show that fear in the way of, I need to go think about it. I'm not sure. Let me speak to my wife. Let me speak to my husband about it. Right? That's them showing fear. You need to help them through that fear and push them. You won't succeed on all of them, but you'll do them a service if you're able to push them through that point. Right? Plug into the DuePoint system. So plug into everything about DuePoint. We have built a community here. A good community that operates in this peak state, that is excited about our prospects. We have hope in our lives. Yes, this is a good thing, right? So plug into it. Don't join and then you stay at home and you... No, don't do Facebook. Oh, my lead wealth engineer is calling me. Why doesn't he text? Why is he calling me? Get stuck into the community, right? The community will help you. It will support you. It will make you feel sane when you feel insane. Because there will be moments when you feel insane. Because you'll have people saying, those are scams. That's a scam, man. Why are you involved in a scam? No, not that business. No, why are you doing that? Those things never make money. Watch, 2-3 years, they'll be gone. And then you're like, what am I doing? If you're in community, right, everyone goes, no, remember what the business is doing. Look at the business carefully. Look how much money they've invested. Look at the people involved. Look at the success people are having. Look at the long-term vision that they have. Remind yourself why you're in this community, right? That's why it's so important. When I say to you, connect to us on Facebook, connect to us on YouTube, come visit us at the head office. It is for that reason, all right? So get your first pointers plugged into DuePoint 2. Become an expert at the app. You must be fast on the app. You must know what you're doing. People don't like, if you say, come join my business. Let me show you. Where? Like, oh my word, this person. No, you become an expert. They ask you a question, you know the answer. Show them the app, click, 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 look. Click, 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 look. Click, 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 look. Right? Expert at the app. Watch all the training properly so that you become the expert. Marry DuePoint's calendar to your own so that you engage with the business regularly, right? Even if you don't have a guest, maybe you still watch the intro presentation anyway. Don't have a guest, but I'm going to watch it anyway because I like Rob a lot. More than that ugly short guy. There's value in engaging with us. Get merchandise for yourself. This is where we ask you to invest in yourself. Invest in yourself in the business that might potentially change your life. We don't make money off this merchandise, right? It is admin for us. But it is necessary. It is a necessity for business that you have business cards. You sit down, you say, here's my business card. You go, no, that's old school. Still builds credibility. Someone who has got a well-tailored, crafted business card separates that business from all the other funny business cards that other people have. Here's my meat business. See, there's a picture of it, steak and a chop and a boerewors there. This is the business we're talking about. We're not those businesses, right? There's a very professional business that you get to join. So get the merchandise, there's a discount on USB sticks. The shirts are wonderful. You can spend as little as 25 Rand. Just get the notepad if you want for now. There's the social media platforms. The app's available for Apple and Android devices. There is Windows CE. We don't support Windows CE. And then there's a Chinese store. We don't support that. Merchandise is available from the website, so we can order online. You can pay online. We'll deliver it to any postnet in the country. Okay? And that's it, folks. Any other questions? Questions? Questions?
Sorry, just one more. A lot of the prospects that we've spoken to work for financial institutions.
Yeah.
And
Conflict of interest.
yes.
My friend works for Hollard, and I don't think they can join. Guys, you're not selling product here at DuePoint. That is not your job. It's not your mandate. It's not in your contract. You have got nothing to do with the products except that you're a product owner. Can someone who works at Outsurance own a product from another company?
Yes.
Of course they can. Anyone can join this business, right? If you want to be sure, tell that person, go read the clause in your contract that says conflict of interest, because that clause in your contract is different for everybody. If you're an executive, it's another story, right? So the higher you get up in corporate at companies, the stricter they get with regards to conflict of interest. If I'm an executive at Hollard, damn right I won't be joining DuePoint. They're competition, right? But if I'm just an employee, my conflict of interest will say, you can't sell other people's products, right? You don't sell here at DuePoint, okay?
But the returns?
You're earning off a business by connecting people. You're not selling product, right? But don't answer the question for the person. Tell them, go read your conflict of interest, right? It happens very seldom, so it's not a problem. Yeah. Any other questions? Okay. Taking a snapshot of everyone. I expect everyone to be qualified by the end of the month. Qualified by the end of the month. At least. At least. Otherwise, what you doing? 3 people. Do 3 people this weekend. Speak to someone today. Right? Embarrass yourself. I've got no business. You've got to go through that. That's the gauntlet. We all have to run through it. When I started this presentation, I was not eloquent. I wasn't. I was nervous on stage. I wasn't quite sure what I was saying. I never knew what the next slide was. Right? We have to go through that gauntlet all together. You've got to cut your teeth on becoming an expert. Don't be shy to embarrass yourself. Someone said to me earlier, you go embarrass yourself in front of your friends and your family. You phone your family up first. I phoned my dad. I said, Dad, I've got a business for you. He says, a pyramid scheme. That's what my dad told me. My boy, you're involved in a pyramid scheme. Okay. Yes.
Yes, no, I was very skeptical asking this one.
Yeah.
Now, if you've got a lead engineer and then you marry,
You marry your lead wealth engineer. You must go read your conflict of interest clause. Okay, so you've got a couple of options there. You need to phone client service and say you want to get married to your lead wealth engineer, and then we'll advise you on how to manage the business from there. Okay. Congratulations.
So I was informed that when I eventually get to Right Mind,
Yeah.
I can't bring a nephew because that's not my biological kid, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay.
Yeah, so you get to bring 2 children under the age of 17, right?
I'm 23 years old, right?
Yeah.
So I'm not married.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
But can I?
You want to bring 3 friends?
No. Yeah, let's call them friends since you know. But I mean, can I bring a yeah?
A girlfriend?
To when I
No. So, because you might change girlfriends every year. So what we do, so that's often, it's a good question, right? So I see you can bring your wife or your husband and 2 children, but I'm single, so can I bring 3 friends, or can I bring a girlfriend, or can I bring my niece or nephew? No. When we budget for that Rank 9 trip, and it is expensive. It's a very expensive trip, right? When we budgeted for that trip, we took into account that we weren't catering to 4 people for every wealth engineer, right? If we had to cater for 4 people for every wealth engineer, that trip would have to become cheaper for us. But because we've got some people that are single, some people who have got kids that are older than 17, we can do the trip that we do. You understand? Okay, so once you get married and you have kids, you can bring them with.
So I should just connect.
Get married quickly, man. It's a blessing. It's a blessing in your life. So, yeah, yes.
But you can take somebody else with, but then you have to pay for that.
Well, no one's done that yet. We are open to that, but it's expensive. It's expensive. You're going to be spending those rooms. So per room, it's probably about 25,000 Rand a night per room. It's an expensive trip. Yeah.
I would like to know, can I connect family members to my first one?
You can connect family members as long as they're not part of your household. Okay? So if I've got people living in my household, I can connect them to DuePoint, but they can't be in my channel. They can't be on my first point. If I've got children that have left home, they're not in my household, yes, they can be on your first point. Okay. Ma'am?
Let's say I'm not working.
Yeah.
And I bring not working, and then I join.
Yeah.
And then when I join, only to find that maybe I'm a hard worker, I can get maybe 3 people.
Yeah. Yeah.
Will they be able to pay my monthly premium if maybe I'm a hard worker?
No. So we get that question every now and again. Can you not just take my premium off my return? No, we're not allowed to do that. So that's not our rule. That is short-term insurance regulatory rule that you have to pay for your own product from your own account. Okay. All right, guys. Good luck. Go do it. You can do it. Just do it. Do it.